she also thinks about maybe her feeding habit. Okay, maybe her feeding habit, she could improve upon it by eating a lot of vegetables. Okay, because at times too, your blood may come in when it has to do with your blood or amount of blood in you. That's a blood percentage. So it could maybe mean that the blood percentage also is low, and that's why the body is struggling to preserve some by sending out just small. But all in all, if she has suffered from this for some time, it's good let her see her doctor. Yeah, it's good for her to see her doctor. Somebody was talking about menstrual cramps. Is it Gang Beauty or Sandra? I don't know. Somebody was talking about menstrual cramp. I don't know if it's Gang Beauty or Sandra. Were you saying that you're used to menstrual cramps and you're d'accord with it? Brother Muhammad, you're asking a question. Maybe I don't get it. Please, what is your question? Are you asking a question, bro? Okay, Sandra, are you saying that you're already used to the pain or what? Or you were asking what you could do with it? Are you saying that you're already used to with the pain or you want to know what to do with it? Okay, about menstrual pain. You want me to talk about menstrual pain? All right, if you want me to talk about menstrual pain, there's no problem to talk about it. Okay, yeah, the pain. Those people who suffer from that music. Okay. Okay, brother Mohammed, I think you're talking on the same line with Sandra. Okay. So if it's about the pain, please, if it's about menstrual pain, now you know we have hormones. The work of these hormones is to actually stimulate specific reactions in your body. Okay, as a lady, you have breast because of your own hormones of the body that stimulate breast milk production and also breast in that size. Of course, a man also has breast, but in terms of the size, you have butt just because of your hormones as well. You see that you have hips, right? A man does not. It's because of your hormones. Your voice look thin as compared to that of a man, right? It's still the same thing because of the hormones. So these hormones during menstruation, you have the egg that was released. Follicle stimulating hormone actually stimulated your egg and asked it to be released. So when the hormone is it stimulates the egg to be released. When the egg is released and fertilization does not occur, now this egg has to be broken down. Okay, this egg has to be broken down. Now there is this hormone we call prostaglandin. The prostaglandin hormone is the hormone that also helps in contraction such that this blood can ooze out. All right, thank you very much. No, it's okay. Thank you so much. Is the blood, so this prostaglandins helps contraction to how the blood comes out. But to some ladies, this prostaglandin is really strong. It causes a lot of pain because of the amount of the prostaglandins produced. The work of the prostaglandins, remember, is to help in causing you contract and send out the blood. So if this prostaglandin is like higher than usual, what happens is that you're going to feel a lot of pain. Thank you very much, bro. So what happens is that you're going to feel a lot of pains. You're going to feel pains because of the amount of pressure, the amount of force that you now have. It is just like when you're pregnant and you're about putting birth, you need contractions, right? You need contraction for that baby to come out. So what happened? What happened if the contraction is not strong enough? You're giving what? Oxytocin. Why are you giving this oxytocin? Is to increase your contraction, is to cause these muscles of yours within the womb to contract. The womb should contract and expel the baby and pull out the baby. Oxytocin is what is called force. It's actually given to cause contraction such that this baby can come out forcefully, not with the natural way, because naturally you should have the contraction enough. Naturally, the contraction should be enough to pull out the baby. If the contraction is not enough to push out the baby, what happens is you're giving this force level, and through oxytocin, it will cause the contractions of your uterus. The uterus is the womb, so it causes the uterus to be smaller, such that it can push out the baby. Therefore, means the power of this contraction, it increases due to the presence of this oxytocin. So with menstruation, it is similar. Similar here is not like there is something no, but your own system produces the prostaglandins in a larger amount. Because your system produces this prostaglandins in larger amount, you now have a higher concentration of this squeezing. So you see that your contractions now becomes higher because your prostaglandin is higher. So that is actually what happened before you have painful periods. Now, to some people, painful period is not that bad. It's not too painful like you cannot deal with. But to some people, their periods are like hell. So if you have this type of period that are like hell, period that you cannot even be with people in the house, you have to like maybe sleep on the floor or visit your hospital whenever you have this period, then please listen to this, please. I don't know if Sandra Gaia, if that is the type of period you have. I don't know if some other person watching, you have that same type of period that can lead you to hell. That's you cannot be without. Okay, Brother Mohammed, you're asking that does it hurt even more and who pulls the baby out? No, during contraction, obviously you feel a lot of pains. During labor, you feel a lot of pains. But the way God has made it, the pains will like climb up to a level you feel like it is not paining again because it has gone right up there. It has surpassed a threshold. And no matter what you do at that time, the pain will increase until that baby is out. Okay. No matter what you do, the pain will increase until that baby is out. So during labor, you have, let's say you have the cervix like this. During labor, let's say you have the cervix like this. Let me just demonstrate something. Because it's still the same for people with painful period. It's almost the same explanation. Okay, I think we all can see this, right? So during labor, if you have, let me say, the cervix like this, right? There will be contraction in the uterus. The contraction in the uterus, which is the womb, will rather cause this cervix, which is the neck. The cervix is the neck of the womb. Okay. After you pass the female genital tract, you get the cervix. The cervix is right inside. Get to the cervix, then you have the uterus. So the cervix is the neck of the womb. The cervix is like the door of the womb. Yeah, you open. When the cervix is open, the womb is open. So during this contraction, let's say the cervix is of this size. Let's say the cervix is of this size, and you are about giving birth. What happened is that the contraction of your uterus, that's your womb, will increase while the size of this cervix, which is the neck of the womb or the door of the womb, it will open, right? It's going to rather open, but the uterus that the baby is found, the uterus will rather contract. It's like the uterus is forcing the baby, the uterus is pressing the baby that comes out. And this one opens. The cervix opens now for the baby to come out. So literally at that time, you feel a lot of pain as a lady, but it is needed for the baby to come out such that you might just cry during that time. You might remove your last cry if you're somebody that, because not every woman, some women will cry during childbearing, but not all will cry. But you might cry, but at that time, you cannot stop the contraction. It is really painful, but it will just go through. And once you have the contraction to a maximum level, you see the baby comes out of the cervix. So it is similar to menstrual pain somehow placed. We're not saying that labor and menstrual pain is the same. Sister Sheila, thank you very much for joining. Thank you so much, sis. So it is similar to menstrual pain here. It is similar to menstrual pain because for menstrual pain, you have blood coming out. Now you have the prostaglandins causing this same contraction we are talking about the uterus. The prostaglandins causing this contraction we are talking about the uterus. So it causes the blood to leave your body. So we are saying that if the prostaglandins, if you have this hormone in a larger amount, that the prostaglandin hormone is more than usual, what is going to happen is that you are going to have serious menstrual pain. You're going to have serious menstrual pain. Okay. If you're a lady, you've been having this menstrual pain, please, this is what you can do. I know I've said this and I'll still say it, please. You get ginger, you get lemon juice, you get honey. Please, this is a natural way. I know we have the ibuprofens, we have Nospa, we have Buscopan to take, but please, this is a natural way and it's effective. Okay, it is good. I even made a video about it. So you get ginger, you get lemon juice, you get honey. Okay, with the ginger, of course, you grind your ginger, you take your lemon juice, you boil your lemon juice, and Lemon juice could be about 2 cups, right? 2 teacups or 3 teacups. And you add your ginger. Your ginger can be, the paste can be like, let me say 2 tablespoons, no problem, of ginger. You add to it. Boil until it arrives boiling point, means until it start boiling. Once it arrives boiling point, what do? You stop the boiling. You stop the boiling, remove, and you sieve. That is, remove all the particles, and now you have what? You have your juice, in which you will now add honey to it. So when you add honey to this, you drink it. It is best if you can drink the day before menstruations, before your normal menstruation begins, or you drink on the first day of menstruation, maximum second day. Okay, it is effective. It is really effective, and it will save you some money, and also it's natural with little or no side effects. Okay, so maybe you try it. Maybe you try it. Have you ever made a video on a mother pulling the baby out? No, no, no. I've not made a video on a mother pulling a baby out, brother. I've not. Normally, we are trying to grow as a channel. We will do such videos because we want to. Right now, we are talking about menstrual cycle, right? Today's discussion is about the HB genotype, premarital testing, those things that you should do before you get married. But when we'll discuss right up to when we're talking about pregnancy, delivery, then of course such videos will be made. And more that lemon and ginger will make you more sexy. Yes, 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 bro. It will, it will, it will, it will. Yeah, he's asking genuine questions. He's asking genuine questions. So if you have painful period, please, as a lady, that's what you can do. That's what you can do. It's going to help you at least come out of this period. So please, if you're a lady, try to do that. Okay, now let us start our discussion. If there is any question about the menstrual cycle, please, irregular menstrual cycle, you ask. If you're a lady watching, you have a question about irregular menstrual cycle, please, you can ask. If not, we move to our discussion, which has to do with the HB electrophoresis test, HB genotype, premarital counseling and testing. So that is what we are actually discussing today. So if you have any question, if no questions uh, if no question under menstruation, we'll talk about HB genotype test. We talk about HB electrophoresis test, that is HB genotype, premarital testing, premarital counseling and testing. All right, all right, all right, all right. Thank you. Okay, the HB electrophoresis test, which I think some people may have heard about it, and some may have done it, others may have heard about it, but they're still to run the test, which I encourage every one of us. Please, know your genotype, okay? Know your genotype, do your HB electrophoresis. Do not wait that until you see Gael, as beautiful as she is, you want to get married to her before you do the genotype test. Now you go for the test. Go for the test now. Okay, go for your HB electrophoresis test and know your HB genotype. So we're going to talk about this test, and we talk about premarital testing and premarital counseling. Okay. So during premarital testing, if you want to get married, I know within people in the Western world may say, okay, no, come on, there's only running all of this, but please, with us, we have to run all of this, so that if there's any wahala, it can be taken care of. All right. So during premarital testing, normally you have to be counseled. Why are you counseled? You have to go through some counseling because you have tests that will be done on you, in which if you are not counseled, maybe the result could shock you, the result could cause a lot of problems to you. So this test, this counseling will help guide you through, such that when a result is given back to you, when you have the result with you, you will know how to handle any other tension within the results. Okay. So premarital counseling will have to do with you discussing with your doctor and your doctor explaining to you. Yes, I did, bro. I did. Premarital counseling and testing has to do with a lot. So you need to be counseled on all the various tests that you need to do: HIV, hepatitis, blood group, HB genotype. Okay, there is also chlamydia if you want to run chlamydia test, although not everybody might run. But the most important, even if you say you are poor, you don't have any money, please. If you are following at the moment, if you're following this video at the moment, and maybe you have somebody maybe back at home, if you're out of the country, you have somebody back at home, and you feel that this person wants to get married, and the person saying that there's no need running this test, please, even your poor as well, you should run HIV test, you should run hepatitis B test, you should run hepatitis C test, you should run syphilis test, you should run blood group, you should run HB genotype. Run these 6 tests, please, even if nothing is going right. I repeat, there is HIV, hepatitis B, hepatitis C, syphilis, blood group, HB electrophoresis, which is for HB genotype. Make sure you can take all of these tests before you actually get into the relationship which you are starting. It could be marriage, it could be any healthy relationship. For HB electrophoresis test, this is the only test within our context. I'm saying within our context because people in the Western world will say, oh, they don't have time with this. This is the only test that will cause your doctor to tell you, oh, come on, Madam Sandra, you cannot continue this relationship. It is not the best for you people to continue with Mr. Positive. Okay. HB electrophoresis test has to do with your HB genotype. What's HB genotype? HB genotype is you looking at your genes, that's the genes of your hemoglobin. HB means hemoglobin. So the genes of your hemoglobin is being like carried so that you come out with either the gene is A, it's either the gene is AA, meaning that you have A for adult hemoglobin, and you also have A again for another adult hemoglobin. If that gene is actually AS means you are a carrier of the sickle cell trait. That means you have A of the adult and a small s for the sickler. Therefore means there's a higher percentage of the adult and there's a small percentage of the sickler. Sister Joy, thank you so much for coming. If your genotype comes out as SS means you're a sickler. Okay, both of your hemoglobin genes are sickled. And when they are sickled, what happens within the person. You will see children who are suffering from sickle cell, or any person suffering from sickle cell. You know, they always short blood. They have difficulties breathing. They used to have joint pains. They don't have enough of strength. Do you know the reason? The main reason is because this particular hemoglobin that they have but SS, sickled hemoglobin. So if you have a sickled hemoglobin, it means the shape of the hemoglobin, it is not in the right shape that can actually carry oxygen along. That can really carry oxygen along. So because the shape of hemoglobin cannot carry oxygen along, what happens is that you start having difficulties breathing. Okay, you don't have enough oxygen that is being given to your cells. Not enough oxygen is given to your bones, your muscles. So you want to walk, you see that you feel pains. You want to walk, you see that you don't have energy. So that's as a result of the amount of oxygen being carried by this sickled blood, sickled hemoglobin called the SS, which is sickled cell. So that is what happened with sickle cell. Now, if you are AS means if you carry out your electrophoresis and the genotype show that you are AS means you have an adult hemoglobin and a sickled hemoglobin attached to it. So yeah, hemoglobin carries what? Both adult and sickle. In this particular case, you are physically normal, but you will be advised not to get married to someone with the same AS just like you. If you are AA means you have both adult hemoglobin. So your two genes of the hemoglobin are all adults. And once the two are all adults, it therefore means you're normal. You don't have any problem with it. You're normal. And if you're normal, obviously you can get married to anyone. You can get married to even a sickler. You can get married to a carrier. And of course, you can get married to someone with the same gene just like you, that is AA, who is normal. So we advise everyone, don't even wait that you're waiting for a partner before you run this test. No, you go for it. Go for it. Just for you to know your genotype. Okay, your HB genotype. It is actually HB genotype. The HB genotype is gotten from a test called the HB electrophoresis test. The HB genotype is gotten from the HB electrophoresis test. So if you do the electrophoresis test, you will get the genotype, and you get the genotype either as AA or AS or SS. So you should go now, run this test. Do not wait. Don't say that you're waiting. Okay, do not wait. Because if you're waiting, maybe you might be waiting that, oh, come on, let me wait for the right person until when the right person will come. I bet you might get yourself shocked that on that day when the right person is in front of you, but now both of you are AS, and you're advised not to proceed. Just imagine you've been dating for maybe 5 years, or you've been seeing this lady, you have been in courtship for maybe 5 years, and you are making the decision. You're making the decision to continue with this lady, only for you to realize that both of you are AS, and you are advised not to proceed in this relationship. No, the test is for everybody. You go now and run the test as an individual. Okay. If you run the test, it will tell you that you can get married to any girl who maybe has any gene, or it will tell you that you can only get married to someone that is normal. Okay. So the test is for everyone. The HB genotype, HB electrophoresis test is for everyone. So you do it to know your genotype. So it's for everyone. You do it to know if your genotype is AA or AS or SS. So it's for everyone. Sister Joy, you just came in, and thank you so much for coming. But from the start, we were saying that if you have any question about irregular menstrual cycle, you can ask. Maybe if you put a question, probably we'll discuss it at the end, because I know we poor women, you could always have wahala one or two. So the test is done for everyone. The advice is that everyone should go for this test, please. You should know your HB genotype. Don't wait that until you've seen Madam Right before you move ahead to this test. No, you should do the test now. If the test shows that you are AA, it therefore means that whosoever you see as a partner, you can get married to. But if the test shows that you are AS, it therefore means you can only get married to a partner who is AA. Okay, so that is just it. That's just how it should be. And you need to go for the test now. You don't wait, please. So you don't sit and you're waiting that out until you see Madam Right or Mr. Right. No. You go for the test now. You know your genotype already. Once you, for example, you are AS, you know that you will not, okay, you will not look for somebody who is AS just like you. Okay, so if you see Madam Right and you want people to continue, the first thing you ask her to go and do her test, because if she's AS just like you, then you leave her and look for another Madam Right. Yeah, I've done the test. I am AA. Actually, I paid more interest in this test, reason being that my half brother died of sickle cell. My half brother died of sickle cell, and it has been so disturbing. Back then, I was in secondary school. I was in Form 2 when he died. So when I studied sciences, I was like, but what really happened? What is sickle cell? So I had to do a lot of research at that time when I was not even in the medical school, I was still in secondary school. I had to do a lot of research. And after running research at that time, I had a little knowledge, although right now I have a better knowledge about it. So my brother actually died. And how did he manage to have it? Okay. It shows that my dad was carrying the sickle cell trait. Okay. My dad was AS, A and S. So my dad was carrying the sickle cell trait. Then my stepmom, because that my brother is my stepbrother, my stepmom, she too is a carrier. So with that my stepbrother was the unfortunate seed who picked the S from my dad and the S from my stepmom, and they to become SS, and then my stepbrother, my half brother now, become a sickler. Yeah, bro, it's sad. Thank you. It's really sad. So I become a sickler, and it troubles him for a very long time. Even when we were in primary school, he used to be going to the hospital always. But of course, we didn't know nothing at that time. We didn't know what that thing is. We didn't know he used to be sick. Up to now that at least one has studied sciences to come and see the difference. So we really do appreciate that everyone should go for it. Everyone should go for it. Yeah. Don't wait, please. Don't wait. Don't wait. Go for this test. If you're a carrier, you know that you cannot get married to another carrier. If you are fine, like AA, you know that you can get married to anyone. Okay. That is just it, and that is just the trick. Because this thing knows no one. Somebody will say, no, come on. I don't have, for example, like right now, I had to do mine since more than how many years back. Why? Because my dad is a carrier. My dad was a carrier of the sickle cell trait. And I don't know my mother's gene. I don't know if my mother is AS or so. I don't know. So I had to do mine as early as possible so as to solve the stress. But I did mine, and I am AA, meaning I can get married to AA, I can get married to AS, I can get married to anyone. So if you're watching at the moment, please, if you've not done the HB electrophoresis test or to know your genotype test, the HB genotype, okay, it's always good to call HB genotype. If you just say genotype, we have many genotypes in our body, okay. Genotype just actually means that the actual gene composition within your body, that's the meaning. There is what we call phenotype. Phenotype is the gene expression out of the body. Okay, for example, I am dark, okay. I may be dark like this, but I have some genes that has to do with white in it, okay. But they might be suppressed, but maybe my main gene that is out is the gene for dark. So I am now expressed as a dark person, as a dark boy. But maybe I have an albino gene, for example. I may have an albino gene suppressed in my blood. Okay. When I get married to some other person, and if that person also has an albino gene, please give me 1 minute. Okay, I'm sorry for that interruption. So I was saying that the the phenotype is different from the genotype. So whenever you go to the hospital to do your premarital testing, or whenever you go to hospital to request for a genotype test, please don't say that you want a genotype test because thank you very much. Oh, welcome. I don't know. Please, can you just follow us and at the end we discuss about this, please? Gold Star. Is it Gold Star? I don't know how I pronounce his name. Welcome. Thank you so much. So the genotype, your genotype is the gene expression, the actual gene composition within your own body. That's the genotype, okay? Why the phenotype is the gene expression that we see, okay? So, okay, let us take, for example, I was talking about I can still be like this. I am having an albino gene, but it is suppressed. So that albino gene, if it is suppressed, you will not see it as what? You're not going to see me as albino. They will see me as black. Okay, because you see me as black does not mean that I don't have an albino gene. And that gives a reason why some people, you see two black people giving birth to one person, giving birth to a métis, giving birth, and you start saying that, come on, how come? How come we are blacks and this child is almost white? Come on. Maybe you look at the genes from the forefathers of the father and the mother. Maybe there was a suppressed gene inside coming, but since it didn't meet any other person to express itself, that is why you've been having black throughout, but right now you now have white. You're having a white in your family now because the two of you people have these two white genes coming together. So that is what happened if your genotype is AS. The suppressed S, because S is the suppressed gene, the A is the dominant. So because the S is suppressed, it will not express itself under any dominant. You know, when you're not married, you are with your dad. Your dad is giving every instruction, right? So you are suppressed in that house. Your wife to be also is in their own mother's house, father's house, being controlled anyhow. So when the two of you people come together now, that is when you can express yourself. That's what happened to the genes. So you leave your father's house, you meet your wife, and the two of you people come together. You can now express yourself. Your wife can now express herself. So that is what actually happened. And to these genes, that is exactly what happened. If the gene is like AS, or the gene is an albino gene, maybe you have an albino gene within your body. So if you have an albino gene within your body, but physically you don't present it because that albino gene is still suppressed. But when that albino gene will meet another albino gene, what happens is that you have an albino child. It's the same thing with the sickle cell gene. It's the same thing with the sickle cell gene. So when the sickle cell trait AS with the small s will meet another AS with the small s. So when the two small s meet, they express themselves and become called SS, meaning sickler. So that is exactly what happened. But Mohammed, I'm not married. I'm not married. I'm not married yet, please. So that is exactly what happened. So that's exactly so if you're a lady watching, if you're a man watching and you've not gone for your genotype test, there's your HB genotype. So I was explaining of genotype. Don't just so if you go there, you want to run a genotype test, your doctor will ask you, or the health worker will ask you, which genotype test do you want to run? Because like we said, we have several genes, even your eye color, right? Your hair, the genes that give you your tallness, you're tall because of your genes, right? You're short because of your genes, right? So when you go for genotype, you need to tell which genotype do you want to run? Which genotype are we talking about here? So you need to specify and tell the doctor the type of genotype. That is why in this case, the genotype is HB genotype. That is the genotype you need to run. Your HB genotype, that's the genotype you need to run. Can you do a genotype test? Anything? Do you have to on a certain period? You can, Brother Mohammed, you can do a genotype test at any time, okay? At any time, even at the age of 10, you can run it, okay? Yeah, because it is the genes of your body. It does not have a time, so you can run it at any time. See, yeah, you can run a test. You can run a genotype test at any time. See. All right, sis. Thank you, thank you, thank you. At any time, see, you can run a genotype test. You don't need to get a certain age before you run a genotype test. Because like we said, it's your gene composition, right? So you can run it at any time, can run your genotype test at any time. So that is exactly what your genotype test should be. And like I said, please do not go to the hospital, go to a clinic and say you want to run a genotype test. You need to specify the type of genotype, and in this case, it's HB genotype. So the test you need to do is HB genotype. There are genotype for eye color, genotype for our own color, your own color, genotype for skin, right? Every other part of the body, you have the genotype. So that is why you need. That's why I said you need to specify. So please specify the type of genotype you want to run. And in this case is HB genotype. That is what you want to run. Genotype for your HB, for your HB. HB is for blood. So you want. Now we need to understand that genotype testing is different from the HB genotype testing is different from your blood grouping. So under premarital testing, you have the HB genotype testing, you have blood grouping. Why do you do blood grouping during premarital? Please, can any person answer that question? Why do you actually do blood grouping during premarital? Is there any main reason why we should do blood grouping during premarital? And why do we do STDs like chlamydia, HIV, hepatitis B, hepatitis C during premarital testing? Okay, the first advantage of you doing a genotype of an HB genotype test is that first you are completely sure about yourself to know that no, I am AA or AS. Once you know your genotype, it guides you to who you want to get married to. So if you already know that your genotype is A, meaning you have the adult hemoglobin with no sickle cell attached to it, then you can get married to anyone. Okay, so that's the advantage. You know it's such that you can get married to anyone at any time with no hesitation. That's why you need to know it. There are no drawbacks whatsoever to know your HB genotype. No, there are no drawbacks. Everything is, once you know it, is for your own good, such that you may not have the heart attack. Wow, Dr. V, well done. I'm sorry, it's our network wahala. It's a network problem. Big sister is in the building. Dr. V, thank you so much, sis, for joining your brother. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Wow, brother Muhammad, thank you very much for coming. May God bless you. You do have a wonderful time. Thank you so much. We'll be talking as time goes on, and if there is any other thing, of course, we could always see how we could try and answer you by all costs. So we hope we are now connected so that we can always talk together. Thank you so much. Really do appreciate. Dr. V, may God bless you, sis, for coming. I know you are tied up. You told me that. Thank you so much. So I was just asking, why do we do blood grouping? Why do we do maybe hepatitis B? Why do we do hepatitis C? Why do we do syphilis? Why do we run all of these tests for premarital? For HB genotype, HB electrophoresis, we have already explained why that test is being done. Okay, is to avoid having a child that is a sickler. That's why. That's the main reason. Okay, once you do it, it can help you avoid having a child that's a sickler. Now, the other test, like blood grouping, why do we run blood grouping for premarital testing? Why? Why do we run blood grouping? Why do we run hepatitis B? Why do we run hepatitis C? Why do we run syphilis test? Why do we have to carry out all of these tests? Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dr. V. Thank you so much. Now, why do we have to carry out all of these tests? Why do you have to carry out all of these tests before you get married? Okay. Why do you even have to go through a premarital something before you get married? I know some people say it's a bullshit. There is no reason doing it. Okay. Until when you are tied up before you will know the importance of something. At the moment that you are not married, or you are in your marital home and you're fine, you don't have any major problem, you might not see the need for all of these tests. But once you fall in one big trap, you will now see a bigger need for all of these tests. Okay, these tests are important. For blood grouping, why is blood grouping very, very important? Blood grouping is so important, especially to the women. Especially to the women. So it's very important because once you know your blood group, for example, you can easily donate blood to somebody. Maybe it's your spouse, maybe it's your child, because you already know your blood group. Okay. If you don't know your blood group, for us back at home, here in Africa, okay, you don't know your blood group, you need to go to the hospital. Now, first, they'll need to run you a test to see your blood group, right? To confirm your blood group. Running you this test is taking time already. Somebody lacks blood, that person needs blood immediately. If you knew your blood group already, going to the hospital will give you the surest chance that you are going to donate because you already know your blood group. But if you don't know your blood group, you'll be doubting, and you'll go now, blood will be drawn from your veins, and try to run the test to see which blood group you are before running other tests for transfusion. That is pure. What happened now, bro? Welcome. Thank you so much. You try. I've not seen you and your sister. I don't know if maybe she's she's behind the scene. I've not seen you and your sister, Yvette. Is this one that you're really coming late like this? I hope we are okay. I hope we are safe. I hope Boya is not disturbing. I hope Boya is okay this morning. So you run the blood group. The first reason is that you can easily donate blood to your spouse, and your spouse can donate to you easily once you know the blood group, right? So that's the first thing. So it is important that you can easily donate blood to someone can easily donate blood to you because you already know the person's blood group. Okay. The next reason, and this reason is principally for women. This reason is principally for women. So as a woman, your blood group, if your blood group is, let's say, rhesus negative, we've had a video only on blood grouping, and there is still another episode on blood grouping. So for people who have maybe doubts about blood grouping, please visit our blood grouping video. Visit our video on the blood grouping. You are going to get it. Yeah, we made a video there concerning blood grouping. The billionaire is in the building. My goodness. Lady B billionaire, thank you so much, Sage. Thank you so much for joining. So if you've done your blood group and your blood group is rhesus negative as a lady, then you need to put in your head, okay? Put in your head that this is my rhesus negative like this. Whenever I put to bed, whenever I become pregnant, I need to take care of something. So you should always see a doctor, no matter what happened to that pregnancy. So you now see the need for you to run this blood group. So it is as important as the word important. So it is very important that you actually do this test, because once you know that your blood group is A rhesus negative, for example, if you know that your blood is A rhesus negative, what do? You already know that once you're pregnant, anything that happens to the child, you need to take some sort of an injection, called an injection anti-D serum. So you need to take this injection. This injection is to protect subsequent children. So as a lady, that is why blood grouping is so important to you. That's why blood grouping is so important to you. There are ladies going through maybe miscarriages, and you want to see the reason is ratios incompatibility. Ratios incompatibility is due to blood grouping. It therefore means their blood group is ratios negative, and if your blood group is ratios negative, maybe you've had an abortion before and nothing was done to protect subsequent children, and now you're having miscarriages just because of that. So that is why blood grouping is so important. Okay, a brother is asking a question: can two people with blood group O positive produce a child with blood group of different blood type? Okay, different blood group. That's, can two people with the same blood group O positive have a child with a different blood group? That is simply a question. This question like this is a straightforward question, but the truth is, thank you very much, sis. Thank you, Lady B. This question that I just asked, that Pio, is a straightforward question, but it's also sensitive. Okay. Blood group O, normally, blood group O is a recessive blood group. Recessive means it's a blood group that is like suppressed, or only express itself in the absence of the other blood group. Okay, because the gene composition of somebody who is blood group A, if you are A, you have A and you have O with you. So you have A and you have O. If you are B, you have B and you have small o. If you are AB, you have A, B, and there is another small o. If you are O, you don't have anything apart from the O. So since you don't have anything apart from O, it therefore means if you get married to another person, you people can only have a child that is O, okay? People can only have a child that's O. But like I said, it's a sensitive question because make her not talk, so you go move your madam for house, say picking her A. So please, it's a sensitive question. If you're asking that question about your own self, maybe you have a child that you are O positive, your wife is maybe O positive, and your child is A, maybe A positive. Come on, you visit your doctor, talk one-on-one with your doctor about this. They will see other ways to confirm. Maybe if you doubt the child, okay, do not come and say that you watched it and you and do not come and say that you have watched it and I have said that we cannot have, that we can only have O. Okay, but if you are a science student asking this question, okay, that's the answer one person is giving you. That brother is giving you an answer. There's a brother after with this giving you an answer. So that's the answer is giving you, and it is no. But I'm saying that if your madam is at home, please, to everyone watching, if your madam is at home and your madam is O positive and you are O positive as well, but your child is A positive or is B positive, okay, please, this is not where you come and settle that, okay? Visit your doctor, talk with your doctor, and you come out with what it should be done. Okay. Let's say a doctor because we don't want to come and be the judge here, please. Let it be, let it be, let it be. I'm just trying to say that there are questions that are straightforward and there are also sensitive questions. The question that the peers ask is a sensitive question. Okay, it's straightforward, that's the truth, but it's a sensitive question because it has to do with I don't know, maybe that the peer may be having maybe some issues at home. You might have your child and start thinking, oh, maybe this is not my child, and all they like, please don't come and settle it here, please. Yeah, don't come and settle it here. That's what I'm saying. Yes, this is your doctor. Talk one around with your doctor about that. You people will see how you can go about it. Okay, I think that is just my worry. Okay, it should not be that, oh, you heard it somewhere, you heard it somewhere that it is like this. It's no. You visit your doctor, talk one on your doctor. A lot of counseling will be done such that you will now see how you can move forward. Okay, please do not come and confirm and judge yourself here under this discussion. I just hope we understand. Thank you very much, Daddy Pio. I think I love that question. Yeah, I would just like to add that blood group O people are generally very strong people. So if you have a blood group that is O, then bravo to you. You are even stronger than COVID-19. There was a study that was done to show that people with blood group O are more resistant to COVID-19. Why people with a blood group A are more vulnerable to COVID-19. Okay. Okay, Auntie V, thank you. I did not, I was asking before because it just popped in and I didn't know. Okay, thank you very much, sis. Okay, that view now, if your answer is for curiosity, just for you to answer to no, then technically it's not possible. Okay, yeah, medically it's not possible. A blood group O is recessive, just like one of our brothers talking there, Brother Willie. Blood group O is recessive. You can only have O. But like I said, but if it is at home, please don't come and confirm anything here. This is your doctor. Don't come and confirm anything here. Blood group O is recessive. Now, when we talk about recessive, now let me explain what we mean by recessive. I made mention of albino, I made mention of um, or HB electrophoresis having AS as a sickle cell trait. Then I also made mention of metis. Okay. I also made mention of metis. So when we talk about recessive, the recessive nature of something, of a gene, it means it's a gene that will not express itself unless it's alone. Okay. Generally, we can consider women as being recessive. Generally, a woman in a community, people always look down on women. Generally, please, to all ladies, please, with all due respect, please, it's just a demonstration. Please, to all ladies, with all due respect. I'm saying that in the general world, women are considered to be somehow inferior. So, in the general world, women are considered to be inferior. So, because of that, we can say women are recessive, isn't it? So we can say women are recessive. So that's what I mean by recessive. Recessive means You can only progress in the absence of your elder brother. It therefore means your father was giving money, your elder brother was eating it, for example, until your elder brother is not there, maybe he's dead. Before you can progress. But in the presence of your elder brother, you will always be, nobody will see you. That's recessive. Okay, so if you have your husband and you in the African context, people will not even see you talk, right? Your husband will be the one to talk always. So the recessive nature of the blood group is a blood of any gene, is a gene that will only express itself in the absence of the dominant gene. But a dominant gene, no matter who is around, that dominant gene will express itself. Okay, so no matter who's around, the dominant gene will always express itself. So that's why we said blood grouping is recessive. So if you have one recessive and another recessive coming together, that's when they can express themselves. Okay, so blood group will only express itself when the two, that's recessive gene only express itself when the two come together. So if you see two coming together, two recessive genes coming together, then they can express themselves. Okay, yes, they can express themselves. If the two recessive come together, they can actually express themselves. So for blood group, for example, blood group O, we consider it as a recessive gene, meaning that what? It will not express itself when it's with another. So when you have O and another O, O is OO, recessive. So one recessive and another recessive, when they come together, they form OO. So the children will be what? That's why we're saying that the children will be OO. But like I said, if there's any disparity at home, please visit your doctor, talk with your doctor, and you come out with exactly what you want clarification for. Okay. Yeah, men with YY. So they will never give birth to a female. How true is that? Very true. Okay, that if you are asking a question, that question has to do with the sperm cell. That there are some men, I think everyone can see that question. I think everyone is saying that question is on board. That there are some men with sperm cell YY and they will never have a female child, and you want to know how true is this. This is not true to the best of my knowledge. This is not true. Okay. The chromosome, the male gamete, exists as X and Y and not YY. Okay. To the best of my knowledge, please, to the best of my knowledge, it is not. Yeah, maybe it's a new study, but I don't think so. So to the best of my knowledge, it is not. The male gamete is actually XY. The female gamete is XX. So when I talk about gametes here, we're talking about the sperm cells of the man is the male gamete, right? And the egg cell of the woman is the female gamete, isn't it? Okay. So the male gamete exists as XY, while the female exists as XX. Okay, so it is not YY. It does not, the male gamete does not exist as YY. No, it does not exist as YY. Not to my knowledge, not to my knowledge, please, not to my knowledge. But we know we can have what, maybe mutations. If there are mutations, it is different. Okay, somebody having a mutated cells, it's just like a normal human being should have two hands, isn't it? But you see some human beings having maybe three hands. You see one hand, for example, this hand will have two, and this other hand will have what? Maybe one. So at the end, there are three hands, isn't it? That's mutation. That's mutation. And because it's mutation, you cannot consider it to be normal. You cannot consider it to be normal. That's mutation. So to the best of my knowledge, that the pure, the male gamete, okay, no problem, that the pure. Yeah, but I'll as XY. No, for sure, for sure, for sure. Yes. We are discussing now. Also, there are a lot of people that will come and watch this video. So that's why I'm doing a lot of clarifications to make people understand my stand. Let nobody come and put me out of context here. To the best of my knowledge, the sperm cell, the male gamete as the sperm cells exist as XY, while the female gamete, that's the egg of the woman, exists as XX. But like I said, we could have mutations in it causes you to produce sperm cells that contain maybe just YY, but that is not the normal. Okay, that is not the normal. So it is not the normal. But like you said, of course, it's never too late to learn. We are all learning, of course. How much do we first of all know? We are all learning, and we'll probably get there. So that is it about the sperm, the egg. So we have sperm that are X, we have some sperm that are Y. That's why the male gamete is XY. And for female, the egg is XX. So that is it. The next test that you do during premarital, you have syphilis, you have hepatitis B, you have hepatitis C. Syphilis, hepatitis B, hepatitis C are very important. They are very important. Syphilis is an STI that can cause a lot of issues, can even cause preterm, meaning you can deliver your child before time. Okay. Hepatitis B is dangerous, and if you're positive as a mother, if you're watching this video and you're a lady and you're positive for hepatitis B, please, whenever you get pregnant, please understand that that child will be given a vaccine immediately, please. And you prepare for the vaccine now because it is expensive. So you prepare for it now. Do not wait, not until it's time before you prepare for it. Prepare for the vaccine now. That will be the best thing for you. Yes, prepare for the vaccine now. Okay. Please just give me 2 minutes, please. Okay. Thank you guys. Thank you very much. My data was running out and I had to just refill. Okay, so we are actually talking about premarital testing. We are talking about the HB genotype. So we're talking about a lot of things today. We are talking about all the various you get pregnant before you get married to someone. So we are talking HIV, we are talking syphilis, we are talking hepatitis B, we are talking hepatitis C. So when I say, if done your hepatitis, you're positive as a lady, please understand that your child will take the vaccine, will take some sort of a vaccine immediately after birth. So you prepare for the money because it is pretty expensive. I know if you are out of the country, this might not be the same with us back at home, but it is pretty expensive. So you get prepared, please. So if you do your hepatitis B and you're positive as a lady, and maybe your partner is negative, my advice for you is that you actually encourage your partner to get vaccinated as soon as possible. Likewise, if your partner is positive and you're negative, so you too should go on your vaccine as well. And you should do that as quickly as possible. Hepatitis C is a deadly infection as well. Hepatitis C does not have a vaccine, but there is a cure, and it might be difficult to also get hepatitis B cured completely, hepatitis C cured completely, if you don't discover it early enough. So if you don't discover it early enough, it might destroy you before you know it. So premarital testing for all of this infection, hepatitis B, hepatitis C, HIV, syphilis is very, very, very important. Okay, it's very important. So when running premarital testing, you make sure that you can do all of these tests. It's going to help you be ahead of time. Don't get yourself hooked up into you want to then discover that maybe even your child is not positive. Just imagine that innocent child, you causing that child to be positive for hepatitis B, for example, or for HIV, for example, without that child knowing anything. Okay, so that is the more reason you need to run all of these tests. Don't just assume that everything is okay. Because there are people that will get to the hospital and they're advised to do these things. They will say, no, they are fine, there's nothing, they take care of themselves. And normally there is what is called patient's autonomy. Okay, patient's autonomy, you allow the patient has spoken. What will you do? You let the patient be. All right, let the patient be. You cannot force the patient because there is patient autonomy. But while you also claim your autonomy as a patient, please understand that you might have an unborn child. Okay, if you're pregnant today and you are being asked to run a particular test because your doctor fears that this infection might cross to the child and you refuse, also know that because you are exercising your right as a person, you have a child within you to also protect. So it is very important for us to take note of that. So that will be it for blood grouping. That will be it for hepatitis B. That will be it for HB genotype, that's the electrophoresis. That will be it for HIV. That will be it for syphilis. That will be it for hepatitis C. So those are the most important tests you have to go about when it concerns you conceiving, when it concerns you starting a relationship or getting pregnant. Do not say until you want to get pregnant, okay, or you want to get married to somebody. Any relationship you want to start, please do take all of these tests. They are very, very important. Very important, please. They are very important, please. So Daddy Pio, I don't know if Daddy Pio, are you still with me? Brother Willie, are you still there? I don't know if you love that we should take you up here for you to say something. I'm talking to Brother Willie. If we can invite you to say something, if you have anything to say, we can invite you. So that is it for premarital testing, and we should not joke with premarital testing. Premarital testing is what will protect the future, what will protect the children is a premarital testing. Okay, please, we should not play with it. So let me explain the issue about you being a rhesus negative lady and also being hepatitis B positive. If you're rhesus negative as a lady and you're also hepatitis B positive as a lady, there are two things involved here. As a rhesus negative lady, you have to take what? The D antigen, the anti-D serum. As hepatitis B positive, you have to take the vaccine for that child. So if you are rhesus negative as a lady and your hepatitis B is also positive, please, you have two major things here to do. You have two major things here to do. Yourself, you need to make sure that immediately you put to bed, you're given an injection for your own self, anti-D serum, and that child is also given an injection that is a vaccine. So you'll be spending twice here, and you see more reasons why we said premarital testing is very important, so that you know all of this. Because if you do premarital testing, so if you do premarital testing, and even when you're pregnant, you now run your test for your antenatal clinics. If you do it, you see that your ratio is negative. If you also do, you see that hepatitis B positive. What do? So you know that by the time you put to bed, by the time you actually put to bed, you are going to have two major things to deal with. For the fact that your ratio is negative, you take an injection as the anti-D serum, and that child is you are hepatitis B, so that child should be given a vaccine. So these are the two things you will do. Like two things you will do to forge ahead. So you put in your mind, and you see the more reasons why we keep saying that doing your premarital is so vital. Because after you do your premarital, you can take care of all of this. But if you've not done your premarital, it will be difficult for you, right? It will be difficult, it will be tough. Be tough. And if you are in the villages with all the difficulties that are so there are things that you should please do not assume that no, I'm okay, there is no problem, my child is fine. You should, as a lady, run all of this. And during your antenatal clinics, you still make sure that you do everything as been asked to you by your doctor. Because there are some and this toxoplasmosis, rubella test, these are things that will actually affect your child directly or indirectly. You may have a miscarriage because of it. You may have a preterm labor because of it. You may have stillbirth because of these infections. You might have afterbirth effect because of this infection. So it is always good to follow what your doctor says, always good to make sure that no matter the difficulties, please try and always run this test. Always try and run them. Don't just say that everything is bad, that you don't have money. Try and run all of these tests. Protect the child. As a mother, your goal, what is your goal? To protect your child, right? You, you cannot be getting pregnant and you don't want to protect that child. Why did you even accept to get pregnant in the first place? Why did you accept to get pregnant in the first place if you know you are not going to protect that child? You know you're not going to protect the child. So I think that will be it for premarital counseling and testing, and also HB genotype, which is the HB electrophoresis test, which is the test that is being done to protect you against sickle cell disease. Now, if you If you have any question, those who came late about the issue about the irregular menstrual cycle, if you came late about irregular menstrual cycle and you have a question about irregular menstrual cycle, please you go ahead and ask a question about irregular menstrual cycle or the menstrual cycle in general. In short, anything that has to do with your menstrual cycle, if you have a question, please put in the comment section. Let us see how we can get you a straight answer to it. For those who maybe came late and they didn't follow through, please, if you have a question about irregular menstrual cycle or menstrual cycle, please put the question in the comment section. Let us see how we can answer it. So you will see for a lot of ladies with menstrual cycle issues, generally, whenever you ask ladies, what is your menstrual cycle? What is the length of your menstrual cycle? They always tell you that they are 28 days cycle. Of course, which is not true. We know most ladies are 28 days cycle, but most women who actually say that they are 28 days cycle, they are not. They are not. So are you 28 days cycle too? You watching now, are you 28 days cycle? Most ladies who say that they're 28 days cycle, they are not. So just give us your menstrual cycle question whatsoever that you have, put it in the comment section. You need to understand that, like what we've been saying here, we have 15 different menstrual cycles, 15 potential different menstrual cycles that you can have. That your question is, can we eliminate all the pains during menstruation? Of course, this will be for people who have painful periods. If you have painful period, the question is, can you eliminate all of the pains? Yes, you can eliminate all of the pains. The question is, can you eliminate the pain such that the pain should not come back? And that's what it is difficult. Okay, you cannot eliminate and say that the pain should not come back. Okay, it is difficult. So you cannot eliminate all of the pain such that it should not come back, but you can eliminate the pains. Even with the normal painkillers you take to eliminate the pains at that time, right? Your question maybe was referring to the fact that can you eliminate the pain so that it should not come back? If it is that question, then I don't think it is possible. Yeah, I don't think it's possible. Even with what I have given as the natural way of reducing, it will come maybe from time to time, or though it might not come in a severe manner, but it will still come from time to time. Yeah, it might not come in a severe manner, but it probably come from time to time. So, but you must have solved the bigger part of the story, right? Because if you take something that will help protect you, that's reduce your pain from maybe 80% to 40%, then no matter when the pain comes back, you must have handled a lot within that particular issue. You must have handled a lot. You must have handled a lot. So that if you, I don't know if your answer is, if your question is answered. If not, please let me know. Please, if there are any other questions about your menstrual cycle, about irregular menstrual cycle, please put it in the comment section. Any question, menstrual cycle, irregular menstrual cycle, please put it in the comment section. Even about okay, for those who are just joining us, thank you so much for joining. Please, if you have a question about the menstrual cycle, please put it in the comment section. If you have a question about the irregular menstrual cycle, please put it in the comment section. Why I would say that there are 15 potential different menstrual cycles, meaning that we have 15 potential ovulation. Okay, there are 15 potential ovulation. We also need to understand that ladies, please, when your egg is released, okay, for ovulation, when your egg is released for ovulation, it takes just 24 hours for that egg. Okay, that egg, it takes 24 hours for that egg, and after 24 hours, that egg is gone. It's not like the egg comes and stays for 3 days. No, the egg does not stay for 3 days. It stays for 24 hours. Okay, so we should take note. We should take note about this and also make sure that we do understand it very well. Now there are women who will have very long flowing days in their menstruation. Okay, you have a menstrual flow, you have menstruation days. That's the flowing days of maybe maximum. Averagely 3 to 5 days. But if you have up to 7, okay, but that should be the maximum. So, but now if you have above 7, start having 8, then that is really up, and is something that you should actually take note about. Okay, you should see a doctor and you talk about it. Yeah, don't just assume that everything is okay. Please, if you are right up to maybe more than 7 flying days, please meet your doctor and you talk with your doctor. Don't stay and maybe your blood level goes down, you are anemic just because of that. Because if you become anemic, it's another great danger. So, but how can you do if if you don't tell your doctor that this is what's happening? You might be anemic and you might even collapse at home and die because of blood shortage. Let me say your blood level is 12, but when you bleed for 10 days, and let's say the bleeding is heavy, your blood level might go down right up to the level where your cells cannot accept it, and what happened is you might collapse. Okay, you might collapse. Yes, so it's very important. So it is very important that you actually um, make sure that you understand all of these, and if there are any issues going on with your menstrual cycle, visit your doctor, tell your doctor, explain to your doctor. Don't stay like that. Don't just assume that everything is okay. It's very important to talk with your doctor and explain everything to you. So do we have any other question? Please, for those Sister Joy, I don't know if Sister Joy is still there. Sister Joy, are you still there? Sister Joy. Okay, you're still there. Sister Joy, I'm asking your presence because I know you've asked a lot of questions about maybe your fertility. So if there are any questions which we can give an answer to, so that any other person watching or people that will watch this after might actually enjoy it or get the explanation. That's why I was asking you. I don't know if there's another person with a question. If you have a question, maybe it is different from what we have been talking about. Please, you go ahead. Okay. All right. Auntie Pam, thank you. I don't know, say you be 1 man, 20 and appear now. So if you have any question, maybe you can ask me or you can ask your doctor. But especially concerning the menstrual cycle, if you have any question, please go ahead and get. Right. Okay. Sister Joy, I don't know. Can you asked a question about adhesion, adhesion, and I gave you explanation about adhesion. So I think I will need to explain that adhesion. My reason is I want you to get the explanation maybe through probably looking at me and maybe seeing the demonstration. It will be much more better. Okay, I think it will be much more better if I can do the explanation and you see the demonstration. It will be much more better. So let me use the paper again for adhesion. Um, some ladies may have, let me say, adhesion of tissues within their womb, within their fallopian tubes. So if you have tissues within your womb that adhere together, so you might have adhesion. Okay, you might have adhesion, that is tissues are growing within your uterus. Remember, the uterus is the womb. So you might have adhesion. This can be because of an infection or can just be because of disorder. Okay, you know, the human system is so complicated. Maybe your eating habit may just cause abnormal growth within abnormal tissues within your uterus, which is your womb. So if you have adhesion, now look at this. Now this is what I always show. Look at this. So if we look at this, so if you look at this, you can see that hole, right? For adhesion to occur, for adhesion to occur, this hole, which contains, let's say this is the womb of the woman, although this is not how the womb is. Of course, the womb is a hollow something is. But we're just demonstrating that hole for better understanding. So let us just take this. Okay. Let us just consider this as the womb. That's the womb of the baby. That's the uterus. Okay. Now, inside here, you have tissues, right? Inside here, you have tissues. So if we consider this as the uterus, that is the womb, and inside this womb normally you have tissue, because within the uterus itself you have tissues, right? Our bodies like this are made out of tissues, isn't it? Yeah, these are tissues. The flesh like this, the flesh is a tissue. Okay, the tissue is made out of multiple cells, different cells together will form a tissue. Okay, and different tissue will form an organ like the heart, and different organs will form what? A system, like the cardiac system. Okay, the urinogenital system. Okay, so if we consider this as the womb, we consider this as the womb or the uterus, and you said, okay, within the uterus you have tissues. If within this area, this hollow area, which we have normally, there is a tissue that lines this inner part of the tissue of the uterus. If within this normal flesh, I'm really sorry, my network is cutting off. So if within this you have, even within the normal tissues, flesh lining the walls of the womb, within the womb, they take the womb to be this one inside, that the baby sits inside. Within this place where the baby sits, if you have abnormal tissues growth within this, then those tissues, they will cause the walls of the womb to come together, to adhere together. Okay, so it makes it difficult for you to conceive easily. So that is adhesion. So it causes this. So it causes this beautiful hollow shaped organ of the womb that we call, or the uterus, to adhere because of those tissue. Adhere means they come together, common tissues adhering to the walls of the womb. So because of that, fertility becomes difficult. Because of that, fertility becomes difficult. So that is adhesion. So if you've ever had issues with your fertility and you go to the hospital, you hear doctor saying that you have adhesion, your doctor is saying that you have tissues. Adhere means stacking together, okay? Adhere. You adhere to your husband, right? During the during that beautiful act, okay, during the beautiful act of intercourse, when you are already around Jericho, you adhere to your partner, right? You stick to your partner. You're tied up to your partner. So that's adhere, coming together, sticking together. So this tissue and it's called adhesion. This particular case is called adhesion. So for ladies having difficulties conceiving, so if it happens like this, normally a doctor will write you fertility build up to build up your cells, because when the tissues of your own uterus like this, when the tissues of the uterus or tissues of the womb stick together like you sticking together to your partner during the act, or like a gum, okay, like a gum sticking to something, then it becomes difficult for you to conceive. So giving fertility boosters may help. And if there is any other infection within, your doctor may decide to treat it, and then you try again to conceive. So with that, you will see that at least you can bypass that particular part of it. So adhesion has to do with these tissues coming together, stacking together. That's adhesion. I had to explain this to our sister, and I want every other person to maybe get the explanation about adhesion. You might go to the hospital and you have an issue, and you're like, "What is adhesion?" So that word adhere just means coming together, sticking together. That's adhere. Something adhere. You adhere to him. Okay, he adheres to you, so it coming together of two different things or two similar things whatsoever. So that is it about adhesion. That is it about adhesion. And I was supposed to do a different discussion today, and YouTube got me. YouTube got me disqualified with a topic that I first of all put up, and that topic had to do with the big goal. That's you achieving your goal of satisfaction. Okay, so maybe we'll talk about that. Maybe we'll talk about you achieving your satisfaction during the act. Okay, maybe, but you know, there are words that this community does not want to hear, so which we really do understand. And so we'll try to be as cunning as we can to explain this to ladies who are maybe having issues enjoying with their partner. So if you're a lady following, we want to talk about you, enjoying your birthright. Okay, it's your birthright when you're married to your husband, it's your birthright. You need to enjoy it, okay? So we need to talk about that. Even though we'll make some videos about that, and we'll still make other videos to explain specific nature of you enjoying the act with your husband, with your partner. Okay, I used to say that this is a given right, both given and birth. Okay, once you're married, you have the right to enjoy it. Nobody should stop you from enjoying it. So we are going to talk about some tips that can help you enjoy that act, and what you can do, although on the part of your husband, your partner should also do his part, because it is not only the lady trying to achieve the maximum satisfaction alone. You don't achieve it alone, you achieve it with somebody, right? So you need him to do it for you. You need him to actually get you in the mood, because actually it is when he decides to get you in the mood as a woman before you can actually feel it. If no matter what you do, if your husband doesn't want or your partner doesn't really love it, because there are some men also who don't love intercourse at all, so then it will be difficult for you to watch it. So, but that one, he needs probably some other thing to help. Thank you so much. I don't know. Please, who is writing? Because this name like this, I don't know if I've seen this name before. I don't know if I've seen this name before. Anyway, you're welcome. I don't know whether it's a sis or a bro. So we want to talk about ladies enjoying this beautiful act that God has given. Yeah, good evening. Welcome. Thank you so much. So I want to talk about ladies enjoying this beautiful act with your partner, and it is an act they are supposed to enjoy. Unfortunately, most ladies do not. Unfortunately, they don't attain what they are supposed to. They don't. Unfortunately, they don't. So if you are a lady watching and maybe you attain the big goal always, okay, if you reach the sky always, if you always go to Jerusalem and come back with all the package, then that is good news. But if you don't, what can you do? What can you do to arrive at this stage? What can you do to reach Jerusalem with your husband and come back with him, with your partner and come back with him? What can you do? What can you actually do? So just give me 1 minute. Whether it's a brother or it is sister Tagapom, I don't know whether I'm pronouncing the name well. Tagapom. Welcome. Thank you so much. I don't know if maybe it's an old person or it's a new person. If you are new, welcome. Thank you so much. Really do appreciate. If you're old, can I just know who is behind the name? Thank you so much. So as a lady, like I said, as a lady, you need to enjoy this act. You need to go to Jerusalem, go to Jericho, and come back with your husband. Most of the time, when you are in the act and your partner will go to Jericho, go to Jerusalem, comes back, you are still at the same point, right? No sister now. Welcome, sis. I don't know which sister. I have many sisters now. So which of the sisters are we talking about? Okay. So nonetheless, we are trying to discuss something at the end. We started with menstrual cycle, irregular menstrual cycle, HB genotype, HB electrophoresis test, premarital testing, counseling, all those things that you need to do when going for premarital testing and counseling. So we are now trying to conclude, but we want to do it in a special way by discussing a birthright of our ladies, okay? The birthright of our ladies. When you are married, when you are with your partner as a lady, you need to enjoy this. You need to enjoy the act. You need to enjoy the act when you're actually enjoying it. So when you're actually with your partner. So that is why we want to discuss this. And like I said, if your partner is that type who doesn't even love going to Jericho, not to talk of going there and coming back, then it's a problem. Please, if you're a lady watching me, please just understand me with my symbols here, okay? So if you're joining, maybe you're thinking, oh, what's Jericho? Come on. We don't want to be calling words here. YouTube will actually cause us a lot of issues. So we want to be somehow skeptical the way we use certain words. So if you're married or if you're with your partner and maybe that your partner is a lady, the partner maybe he doesn't even love going to Jericho, for example, not to talk of coming back. There are some partners who would love to go to Jericho and come back, even within 5 times a day, right? Some will not even love it at all. So not all men will actually love going to Jericho and coming back. Some will not. Some they may want it, maybe just they want to travel just once in after maybe 4 months, and it becomes very difficult for a lady. Let me say you're a lady and you're very active. You love your Jericho and Jericho stuff, right? It'll be difficult. It'll be difficult. But here I'm saying the word. If you're married or you're with your partner at home and you've not really like enjoyed this traveling, okay? You've not enjoyed this traveling. What can you do? What can you do to enjoy it? Maybe your partner is the only one enjoying this traveling. Whenever you travel, and when coming back, he comes back alone without you. So what can you do? What can you actually do to improve upon this? What can you do? If you're having that type of partner who is also ready to take you through, because first of all, your partner too should be ready to take you through. If it's ready to take you through, then you will be able to enjoy this. You will be able to enjoy this traveling. In short, you will love traveling. Okay, you will love traveling. Yeah, I'm not talking about this. Is not traveling by car. So this traveling we are talking about is not traveling by air, by water, by sea. So it is traveling with your partner by enjoying the right that God gave you when you are married. Okay. So when you're with your partner and maybe you've complained that you've never felt something like real. So what can you do to reach that? What can you do? So the very first thing is give yourself time. Give yourself time. Okay. So there should be enough time for warm up. Warm up, right? There should be enough time for, before you play football, before you even travel out of town, okay, you need to prepare your luggages and all the like, okay. If you're using your own car, what do? You need to fuel the car, make sure the tires are okay. So there should be warm up. And that warm up as a lady, you need enough time. Don't just take 10 minutes for that warm up. That warm up should not be less than 15 minutes. Okay. It shouldn't be less than 15 minutes. There should be enough time for that warm up. There should be enough time. That's the first thing. Give yourself enough time. Like I always said, there are ladies. Ladies in general, they need time. In short, throughout a woman's life is time. Need time like her, women. So because you need enough time, there should be enough time for you to do this. You can imagine a lady preparing for a party that will last just for 1 hour.